Welcome to the Regina Queen Show. Here with me is Skyla Pawnell. Skyla Pawnell is from East St. Louis, Illinois, and she is here with us to share her son's story, Aaron Prayer. Her son, Aaron Prayer, was murdered June, June 4th, 2018. Mom is still desperately seeking justice for her son. Killer is still out walking around. So she's here today to raise awareness and to ask anyone throughout the community to help prevent violence and to help bring her son's killer so her family can get justice. Hi, Skylar. How are you doing?
Hi, Regina. I'm doing good. How you doing
Good.
today?
I'm doing good. Um, it's sometimes I have the ups and downs during the holidays. Wishing my son was here. Rest in peace.
I get that part.
Yes. So I'm grateful to have you here with me on the Regina Queen Show to share your son's story, Aaron Prayer. And I'm after at the end of the day, I'm believing in justice and that you would get justice for your son. So can you share what happened to your son on June 4th, 2018? And I know it is a mother's nightmare to receive a phone call letting us know that our children has been murdered. Can you share what happened to him and what it was like for you?
June 4th, 2018. I can remember it like it was yesterday, really. I remember I was at work and my little niece called me on the phone while I was at work, and I'm wondering, why you calling me? You know I'm at work and I don't like to talk to people. So I answered the phone and she was like, they just killed your son. And I'm like, my son? Which one of my sons? I don't really wish anything happened to either one of my kids. I'm like, which one of my son? And then she was like, Junebug. And she was, I mean, at that moment, I don't, I just, all I know I can remember is falling down to my knees and screaming real loud. And one of my coworkers came over to help me up and to see if I was okay.
Mhm.
And immediately after that, my little niece, she came to pick me up. By the time I got to the site where my son's body was, it was so many people outside. I mean, all over the place. And I'm still like kind of not really knowing exactly what happened, just a little pieces here and a little pieces there of what people tell you, because you hear so many different stories, you really don't know which story you can believe. So at this point, I'm believing my nephew, because my nephew, he was there with my son through the whole process. He was the one that ran from the building where my son was killed at, to the next building, which where my daughter lived, to get some help, to call 911 to get the ambulance to come there. By the time the ambulance got there, of course, he was dead. My son had been shot twice from the back. I can remember people saying that he got into an altercation with a guy, and it started over Facebook because
Mm.
the dude was in his girlfriend's inbox trying to talk to his girlfriend. That's the story the girlfriend gave us. She even showed us messages between him and the guy, and we gave all that information over to the police or whatever. I mean, all these people out here, but nobody come up to tell what they saw. My son had enough time to get his girlfriend's daughter inside the house. She was like probably 3 or 4 at the time. He was able to get her in the house and get her upstairs out of the crossfire because they were shooting. It's like gun. It's like more than one gun. People just out here shooting in broad daylight, and people just standing out here like this normal. It's okay, you know. And all I know, my son was on his way inside the building because he believe in fist fighting. We don't want to kill nobody to hurt them. We from the old school. We fight today. We live to fight again tomorrow. So my son at this point, he sent his little cousin upstairs to get his shoes because he thought dude wanted to fight because he had on some slides. So he turned his back to him. When he turned his back, he got two bullets, one in the head and one in his back, which went to his chest and killed him.
Mm.
And I mean, as much as we pray over our kids and we try to lead them in the right path, the best to acknowledge, because being a parent doesn't come with instructions.
Right.
So we do the best we can, especially when you're a single woman raising a young black man by yourself.
Yes.
My son, he never was in trouble. He got in trouble one time, and he was trying to defend himself at that point because he was with another little girl, and somebody was shooting at her car. So he had got caught up with a gun. In Fairview Heights, the police took him to jail or whatever. But that was his first time ever getting any kind of charge, ever going to jail for a weapon or anything. He was, I mean, I ain't gonna say he was perfect, but he was a good child. He never really gave me any problems. He went to church. All he wanted to do was make his way in life and take her, his only daughter that he have here. And he can't even do that anymore because she's just turned 7 years old the day after Thanksgiving. And it's so much that she missing out on that she doesn't get to have, she doesn't get to know her dad the way I know him, to love him and how funny he was and charming and goofy and everybody life of the party. He's just an outstanding person, She doesn't get to experience that. She doesn't get to go with her dad on daddy-daughter dances. She doesn't get to have the life that a little girl should have with her father.
Yes.
Because someone decided to play God and take his life.
Yes. Yes. Skyla, did you say that your son received a phone call?
Text message. Him and the guy that he was into it with. I didn't even know he was into it with this guy. The guy, he was a friend of my sister's boyfriend. So he was known, but he was not somebody that my son hung around or affiliated himself with. He knew him through, being over my sister's house or being around them. Dude went to my sister's boyfriend, which was his friend, the same day he killed my son, and tried to get him to go with him to kill my son.
Mm-hmm.
And he told him, no, I'm not going down there with you. If you want to go kill him, you know where he at. Go down there. And like 10 minutes later, they hear bullet shots. And my son dead. He the only one get shot out of all these people out here. My son did not have a gun, but he's guilty by affiliation because the guys that were with him had guns and they were able to shoot back. Had they not shot back, they'd probably be dead too. And I'm trying to figure out why everybody not in jail. All of y'all are guilty because you're outside a housing complex where kids and other people are, and you're shooting. Everybody should be held accountable for my son's death that was involved. Whether you shot the gun or not, you were there. You were a part of it. They chased him down from like one block all the way down to where his girlfriend stayed at. From the corner all the way down, and then he collapsed inside the building. He made it upstairs, probably like an inch from his door where he lived, and that's where he died.
So do you and your family believe that it was a setup?
I don't know what to believe it was. I know I had a nephew, and he was out here doing the little things in the world that he shouldn't have been doing, and I don't really know what it was. I don't know if he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't believe that because my nephew told me he sat there and watched the dude kill my son. He told me that, and he took a lie detector test and everything. But by him lying to the police in the beginning because he was a juvenile, he was a kid, and he was afraid. He lied to the police. So by him lying to them, his credibility, they didn't believe him. So it's like anybody that he know, they don't want statements from them. They want statements from people that he don't know. But you're not going to find nobody that don't know nobody. We only 89 blocks. Our blocks are not that big. And it can't be that many people out here that's doing this shooting. Come on now.
So do you believe your son just ran into a crossfire?
I don't think it was a crossfire. I think dude intentionally killed my son over that female. I think he intentionally killed my son over that female, and he's gonna be allowed to get away with it because around here in East St. Louis, he got people, relatives that's on the police force that I heard, and so on. And you know, he been in jail before. But why are you out with a gun? Even if you do have a gun card, you don't have a concealed to be carrying your gun out. Why is your gun out? Why is you out here shooting at people? You know, that's my question. Why is he still out here on the streets? And like, we went to another march. I went to a march. He was at the house with the guys that was involved in shooting one of my friend's son. He was the same guy that killed my son. He was at the same location with the same guys that killed my friend's son. He every time.
So do you believe this female, was she in a relationship with your son?
She was in a relationship with both of them, from what I understood. She was born with my son, and she was cheating on him, talking to the other guy. He knew everything about my son. He knew when my son left to go to work, when he left to go to church, when he came back. He knew too much information that should nobody knew unless they were in that household. And she the one showed him the messages between her and the guy, because they shared a Facebook page, her and my son. So I guess when he logged on, he sent the messages, and it went from there to him. And
she was the girl was sleeping in between too.
Yes.
She go back and forth.
Yes, back and forth.
One man to the other man.
Yes.
And
yes.
It caused somebody to be killed.
Yes. Yes.
How long was they in a relationship? How long was she in a relationship with your son?
My son wasn't even with this girl. He wasn't even with her a year, I don't believe. He wasn't even with her a year.
Wow. Where is this girl at now? Where is she?
She's still around, being the same one. And like 6 months after my son got killed, another dude that she was going with that before my son, he got killed a block over from where my son got killed.
Oh, that girl is poison.
Yes, poison. Very.
Yes. Okay. So, wow. And unfortunately, your son was a victim of hers. And she's going around getting people caught up in love triangles. And that is one way a person can be killed as well. And I'm sorry that happened to your son. And how is gun violence in East St. Louis, Illinois?
Gun violence here is on a high rise. It's like a normal thing. Just like you get up to brush your teeth every morning, that's how gun violence is. Every day, somebody or their child. We just had a 13-year-old boy, was the latest that I really heard of, that got killed. I mean, it's terrible.
Is that the one that got killed at the bus stop?
He was getting off the bus, and it was a drive-by shooting going on as he was getting off the bus, and he got hit by one of the bullets.
Broad daylight.
It probably was like around about, I don't know exactly what time it was, but I know it was evening time. So yeah, daylight.
Yeah, but today's people can just kill. They don't care. They come out and kill in the broad daylight.
Oh yeah, they bold like that.
Yeah,
they real bold like that. They while you standing at the bus stop, while the train going past, and all kind of stuff here.
Kill your kid before they go to school.
Man,
that's what it is today, and it is really sad. It's really sad. And there was another story that we talked about too, as well, from another baby who was killed in the bed.
Baby Khalil.
Yes. How was that story going? And
baby Khalil was 3 years old, and she was sleeping. She stayed in a Roosevelt projects in East St. Louis, Washington Park, East St. Louis. And she was in her bedroom sleeping like a normal kid, and somebody outside shooting, and the bullet come through the wall and strike the baby and kill her.
How
Um,
old? How
I
old was?
don't know
How
if
old was she
she
again?
was she was 3 years old. I don't know if they got the person that's responsible for that, but they were supposed to have him. I don't know if he's dead or if he's alive, but I've heard some stories that they were supposed to have him, but I'm not exactly how true that is.
Mm,
Know how true that is.
that is a horrible tragedy for a mom. And
Yeah.
was the mom in the bed with the baby?
No, the mom wasn't even there. The baby was at home with her dad and her grandmother. The mom wasn't even there. She was at her house where she lived at.
Mm. And my heart goes out to her family, and we send our deepest condolence um, to her family. And Skyla, for your son's murderer, has he been apprehended? Um,
No, he's still out walking the streets like he hasn't done anything. He don't have a worry in the world. And whenever he see me, he cannot look me in my face. He drop his head and he hurry up and try to get away from me.
so, do you see this guy who murdered your son on a daily basis?
Well, not every day, but every once in a while I run into him because like I say, we're only 89 blocks.
Do you feel afraid when you see him?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm afraid of everybody now. I got me a concealed carry, and hey, I'm not finna play with you with my life. You done took one thing from me. You're not gonna take anything else from me again. I ain't gonna just be out here killing people, but I'm gonna defend myself by any means if I need to.
Mm. And how does it feel for you to look at to see the man who murdered your son?
It's heartbreaking. I feel terrified. I feel afraid because I don't know what's on his mind. I don't know what he's capable of or what he can even do to me. I've had people to threaten me because of my I speak out against violence. I have people to tell my mom to tell me that I need to stay off the TV and stay off the radio. And I'm like, why? I ain't
Mm.
hurt nobody. I'm talking about my sharing my son's story and hoping to save somebody else's child from having to go through what I went through.
Exactly. And how have that's been for you advocating for your community since you lost your son to gun violence? Has
Well,
there been any
it's been a little change, but not very much. And I've became friends with my police, my local police here, and we have like we have different events try to keep the awareness alive and not just be out here like one day you preaching and then the next day don't nobody see you. We're out here doing whatever we can. Anytime there's a homicide, anybody losing their life, if I get the call, I'm there like I'm the police. I'm
yeah,
there. And it ain't because I'm just wanting to be nosy. I'm there because I want to reach out to those families. I want to hug them. I want to let them know that they're not alone, that somebody is here and feel the same pain that they feel. And we in this together.
and Skylar, can you share with us, can you kind of go a little bit deep into the gun violence in the projects of East St. Louis, Illinois?
Mhm. The
So,
project, well,
mhm.
everybody talks about the projects being bad, but people got to live where they can afford to live, which I understand that. But the projects are very bad to me. It's like so many weapons and drugs and stuff in the projects, and they're supposed to be for mother and kids, but the mothers bring in the boyfriends, and probably the sons or kids grow up and they getting hold to guns and all this other stuff that's out here, and that's what's making it bad in the projects. The projects can be a good place to live if people control the people that came to their house and stop letting people bring guns in their house and drugs in their house and bring all this stuff around their children. If your kids see you playing with guns, they want to play with guns. They see you out here in the gang bang, and they want to do it too. Somebody got to stop the mold. You got to break the curse. We got a curse over us out here in East St. Louis. It's like a black cloud over our head, and it's not coming for old people. Death's not waiting for old people no more. It's getting them young, getting babies, innocent people that don't have anything to do with nothing. They catching bullets. And it's just sad. It's like one little boy, he lived through it. He's like, I think Mason may be like 4 or 5 years old. He got shot last year. He was the kid in East St. Louis that got shot while his mom was at the bus stop waiting on the bus. Somebody hit the train and they shot it up, and the little boy got shot in the process of all that. And he had to go through a few surgeries, but he lived. He's a strong kid, and he lived now to share his story.
Mm. That's a blessing. God is good. God is real.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, his life will never be the same because he's in a wheelchair and he can't do the things that he used to can do, but he can still see his family. He blessed. God got him here still.
Yes. Yes. That's a wonderful blessing. I mean, it's good to hear, someone surviving gun violence,
Yeah.
and it's really a blessing to hear that. As some of us moms who lost our children to gun violence wish that our children had survived,
Yes.
the feeling.
And I think they should offer therapy to these families and to these kids because after everybody's gone, at the end of the day, they still need somebody to confide in, somebody to talk to. All kids not going to open up to everybody. They hold so much hurt up in them, built up in them. They need somebody that they can express it to. It's not
Yes.
going to judge them or think that they crazy or something. After losing your parent or anybody that's close to you, you need some help to get through that.
Yes. And I did some research on East St. Louis, Illinois, and I read up on how was a massacre there back some years ago, and it sounds so horrible how there were bodies, dead bodies, and
Yes, yes,
people has been murdered and everything, and a lot of that had to do with racism. And so East St. Louis have a history, does have a history.
mm-hmm.
That's why people need to come together.
Yes,
The projects there in East St. Louis where gun violence is very rapid. Um, we are killing our people.
yes,
Um, and I said we as a people, who are killing their people.
yes.
And
Because it's us killing each other. Everybody here is black. It's black on black. We're killing each other.
yes, and they need to come together to prevent violence, protect their communities, let the youth grow, and stop killing people for no reason. The senseless gun violence is ridiculous, and it is impact families very bad,
Yes, it has.
and people need to care. So yes,
Get
so
rid of the no snitching
really good
rule.
at
There's no
your
rule no more. Getting rid of the no snitching rule. Silence is violence. If you sit up and watch somebody kill somebody or hurt somebody in any kind of way and you don't report it in, you just as worse as the person that's doing it.
mm, yeah, well, that's very tough these days.
Yes.
People don't want to, be a snitch, and then when that happens, then here comes the injustice, and then it's just the crime rate just goes up more,
Yeah.
and innocent people, get hurt. So raising awareness to prevent violence is something that we can do, as advocates, as for our loved ones, to be our loved ones' voice, and we can do it the right way. It's tough,
Yeah.
but we got to stay prayed up. And I just thank you for what you are doing for your community, advocating, raising awareness to prevent violence in your community. And do you have a team who are working with you to raise awareness?
Oh yes, I have.
Can you,
Mom.
can you
Have you ever
share?
heard of Mom Demand Action? Mom Demand Action for gun violence. I have them. I have CSSJ. Um, who else do I have? Um, Boots Down. I have a lot of people. Yes.
That's great. That's great. I'm really,
I
really
have
happy to
Miss
hear that.
Latasha.
Yes, yes, I'm really happy to hear that, and I'm looking forward to coming there to East St. Illinois and
We'll
St.
be
Louis,
happy to have
Illinois.
you.
Yes, yes, I'm looking forward to coming there to visit you guys and to have an event there with you guys to raise awareness. And I think this is very important that we connect, in this fashion to, be the voice for our loved ones throughout the nation. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. And we do have some people here in the comments, and I would like to show it before we go. And you have a Gloria Hicks.
That's
Do you
Miss
see it?
Gloria. Hey, Miss Gloria.
Yes. She said, right, why they don't go back and ask all
Of
of
them
them.
again. I don't know why they don't, because a couple of them are in jail for other things at this time, and this would be the good time to go back and ask them.
Hmm.
It's like they don't want to. They were saying the case was closed, but how's the case closed and it ain't been solved? So
Okay. And then we have, um, yes, because again, right, I was with you and I really felt your pain when you saw that guy. And, that is the hardest part is to see the person who murdered your child. And just to see that this person is still free to walk around and just do whatever
exactly, they can kiss their
wants
kids
to
every day.
on God's land, beautiful land, and just, he's free.
Yeah.
And then your child is in the grave.
Yes. He
So
get to see his daughters
my
every
prayers
day.
to
My
you.
son don't get to see his daughter ever again.
Yes, my prayers to you. And then you had Vernon. He said, wow, behind a snake down. My condolences to the family.
Thank you, Vernon.
And then we have, yes, thank you, Vernon. We have Michelle Diaz. I mean, Michelle DeBosky. She is an angel mom, and she's a very, very, very huge supporter. She lost her son to gun violence as well in
I'm
Texas.
sorry for your loss.
Yes. And she's a beautiful soul. She said, definitely poison and toxic. I'm sincere, my sincere condolences. And then thank you for that. And then we just need people to speak out for on crime when it happens.
Yes, exactly, Miss Gloria. That's Miss Gloria. She be out with me. We be out together.
Great, great. Teamwork is dream work. So we need people on our side to help us raise awareness to prevent violence. And the crime rate has went down. And for the first time, the police is doing a better job in our community. Yay. So that's great. Good news to hear that something measurements are being taken. And hey, so yeah. And then we have Lynn Jones. She said, hello, beautiful ladies.
Hello.
Hello, Lynn Jones. We love you. Thank you for watching our show today and supporting us. And yes, it's very sad. And yes, some people just don't care.
I mean,
And
if it ain't their child, they don't care. Until it's not come knocking on their door, that's when they care.
exactly, exactly. And my heart goes out to you, Skyla Pawnell, to you and your son, Aaron Prayer. And I love his name. Your son name is very powerful, Aaron Prayer. And my heart goes out to him. Rest in peace. And you keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. You stay strong and keep being a voice for him as well and other victims as well.
I will.
Yes. And it's just, my heart is really wrecking just to know that you have to see this guy every day.
Yes.
Has really startled me. And
I mean, I'm not the only one that's experiencing this. It's a lot of us around here that haven't received justice yet. It's a lot of homicides that have not been solved yet.
yes, and hopefully they pick up. Like Gloria Hicks said, the police has been doing a better job, and we do have some police departments who are in favor of homicides, families losing lives to senseless gun violence. So we just stay in prayer. And thank you so much for being here with me on the Regina Queen Show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It was an honor to have you here to share Aaron Prayer's story, to keep his name alive. And this is what I'm here for, our loved ones, keeping their name alive.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And thank you, everyone, for being with us on the Regina Queen Show. We hope you all have a beautiful night. And Skyla, if you would like to give, um, if you had a message for victims of violence, what would your message be?
My message would be don't lose hope, don't give up. Just because it's not happening when you want to, one day we will both have justice and we will be able to live the life that we want to live again. And don't look at it as a loss because now I look at it as God brought me to this for a reason.
Yes, he did. Thank you for that message. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful night.
You too.